So what I want to do is I want to ask first if everybody is sort of basically comfortable. If I'm going to go ahead and run through some quick how-tos, everybody can see me, everybody can hear me. Is that correct? And if it is, give me a thumbs up. And there we go. All right. So one of the great things about Zoom is not only can you verbally communicate, but you can also, signal people with, because you got the video going on. And sometimes because we're all used to using telephones, it takes a little bit of getting used to. Okay. So what I'm going to do is on my desktop, whoops, let me go ahead and close that down. On my desktop somewhere, let me see here. Let me just close this down here. I've got this really neat document that I call my UU SLO Zoom experience suggestions sort of help. So if you come to our meetings for the service, we usually paste up these notes, and I'm going to paste these notes. Copy. I'm going to put these into the chat. There we go. And I will show. Hang on a second. I got to get Dawn to turn off your audio. So turn off your microphone.
I don't know how to do that.
Okay, Dawn's going in the other room. That's another solution. Zoom doesn't like you when two people are on Zoom at the same time in the same room, because it can hear you. Let me finish putting the rest of this.
Kate, I'm on Zoom.
Yeah, sorry to bother you, but did you get me
All right, there we go. Dawn figured out how to mute. That's nice. That's one thing we can learn. Okay. So I put the instructions in chat, and these are the instructions that we typically use in a Zoom service, because these are some of the things we think would improve your Zoom experience. So Dawn, I think we need to shut that down and not do that. Okay, so good. Go ahead and close out. We're good. Okay.
It's not a computer.
So the first thing we want to do is we're going to try to rename ourselves. So I'm going to try to teach you how to do that. So I'm going to go ahead and bring this screen back to the front here, and let's try to rename ourselves. So the thing that we do at the UU is we use a renaming convention where we say our name and then our location, or all the people that are on your square in the location, right? To rename yourself, there's a few ways you could do it. The way I recommend is hover over your square with your mouse. All right, so you're going to hover over your square with your mouse, and then click on the three little dots in the upper right-hand corner of your square. Is everybody able to see that? Dee, are you there?
Yeah, I am. Yeah.
So, okay. So you click on that and you get a little pull down menu. All right. You can kind of see various things on the pull down. And what you want to do is you want to hit the one that says rename. Right. So you hit yourself rename, and then a little window pops up where you type your name. And I usually like to go Eric SLO, because I don't like to get it too long. I like to have a nice sort of short thing for my screen name, and then just hit the rename key. And there you go. Eric Olson -SLO. We know where I am and who I am. Okay. So that's what we do. Rod's got the little extra added value of the he/him. That's nice too. We always try to be, very open and accepting of how people want to be addressed. Okay. The next thing I'm going to show you how to do, and it's in that chat list, is I'm going to show you how, talk about sound levels. All right. So when you're having trouble hearing Rod in the service, a lot of times that's not him. We do a lot of extensive setup to make sure Rod's sound levels are generally in the ballpark of being correct, right? But everybody has on their keyboard sort of some sound control, or generally, so you might want to try to find that sound control. I'm going to hold my keyboard up to my camera, and you'll notice, let's see if I can do that there. That's up on my camera. You notice those two little keys up there, right? And those two little keys will increase and decrease the sound, okay? So if you've got those keys and I'm not coming through loud enough, right? What you might do is you might increase the sound, and you can see, I think you can see on my thing where I got a little icon of decreased sound. So I'm decreasing the sound or I'm increasing the sound. So if you want to play with that key, it doesn't really hurt anything, but it will change the level of my voice coming through your speakers. Okay. Is everybody okay with that, or does everybody have able to adjust their sound?
Or to have a bigger.
Okay. Yeah, and yeah, good. All right. So the next thing we're going to talk about is we're going to make sure everybody knows how to mute and unmute themselves. All right. So if you look at the lower left-hand side of your or left-hand corner, lower left-hand corner of your Zoom screen, you'll see a little microphone. All right. And when you hit that little microphone, if there's a slash through it, that means that we can't hear you. You are muted. And usually you'll hear in any particular Zoom meeting, there'll be several instances where somebody will say, you're muted, all right? So if you want to stop being muted, you hit that little icon in the lower left.
How do we get it bigger?
I am unmuted now. You can hear me, okay? So why doesn't everybody go ahead and try to mute and unmute? So let's see if you know how to do that. Okay, Dee is muted, Carol's muted. Let's see, Peggy's muted. Helen, can you figure out? There you go. Helen's muted on hers. Okay, good. Enough.
Can I mention one little tip here, Eric? Can I mention one little tip?
Yeah, sure.
That if you're at a computer as opposed to an iPad or something, right now I'm muted except I push the space bar. So if you're in like a group conversation, you don't want to mute, unmute. If you do unmute it, and when you want to talk, you just push the space bar and you can talk, and then I'm going to release the space bar and I'll be muted again.
Yeah, so if you want to go ahead and try that, this is a good opportunity to try those things. So if you want to mute or unmute by hitting the space bar. So if you hit the space bar, let's see, Chris, did I have this right? If you hit the space bar, you'll unmute.
Did that work?
If you've already muted on by the microphone icon, it just temporarily unmutes when you push the space bar, and it returns when you lift up. The muting returns when you lift up the space bar cue. Yeah. Okay. Is everybody? Yeah. If you want to do it that way, you got it. Otherwise, that lower left-hand corner, that always works. Okay. If you've got access to that. All right. Let's go ahead and go on. Let's see. So mute and unmute. Okay. Take attendance in the chat. So one thing we want to make sure is that you know how to chat, right? And on the lower bar, one of the items on your Zoom menu bar is one called chat. So there's a little comic bubble and then chat underneath. And so I'm gonna close my chat window now. So if I click on my chat window, you'll see that I got a little box over here that opens up with the chat, and I can move that around, right? But you should be able to find your chat window. So click on this little icon and it opens and closes the chat, right? So this little thing that I'm clicking on down here on the bottom of my Zoom screen is the chat, okay?
Is everybody able to find the chat? No, Helen, looks like not quite so much. So one of the other things that you might want to play with, and I forget, Chris, maybe you can help me, or Rod, since I'm in the Mac world, so you're seeing, how the Mac views Zoom. But I've got this little buttons up here in the upper left-hand corner of my screen. So this whole window thing, this whole thing, moves around, right? And it's kind of got it centered in the middle of my screen. But if I wanted to, I could click the little green button that puts me into full screen mode. So I'm going to go ahead and click that button. I go into full screen mode. All right. And, you can kind of see what this, this sort of looks like. But one of the things was, when I'm in full screen mode, everything on my desktop is covered up, right? But it makes sure that Zoom is right there in front of me. And Zoom is kind of, now I'm like totally in the Zoom world. So sometimes if you get another screen that's partially blocking you or in front of you, if you click that little button or you go into, full screen mode, it'll pull the Zoom out into front for you, okay? So if you want to, to get out of this mode, I just sort of put my cursor in the upper right-hand corner, and it will take me out of, exit out of full screen mode, and kind of put this Zoom window back here like this. So it's really good. I've had people very experienced with Zoom that all of a sudden they'll get their, something in front of their Zoom screen, like someone will, and I'll just sort of do this. So I've got this Word doc that all of a sudden is sort of in the way and blocking all kinds of things. And so all I have to do is click that, full screen mode. And now I'm sort of back, and everything's back behind, this Zoom screen. Okay. All right. Any questions about that? Is anybody having problems or struggling with that? How to put that screen or make that big? And everybody you guys can unmute if you would like. I don't think we're sort of endangering or overpowering each other with speech. So if you need to, yeah, go ahead, Helen.
I see 2 pictures of you and 3 pictures of other people. It doesn't look anything like what we see on Sunday with one big screen with one person featured.
Right. So what the reason that you're seeing that, Helen, is because I'm sharing my screen with you. So you're seeing you're actually seeing what I'm seeing, plus you're seeing what you're seeing, right? So I'm going to go ahead and stop sharing here for now.
There.
Get you back. So this should be your more familiar view, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah. Sorry, I didn't mean to overwhelm you with showing, but I was doing that to show you which keys and buttons I was pushing, right? Which is a little bit of a easier way to do training. All right.
When you speak about pushing buttons, it doesn't look anything like my iPad.
No, yeah, and I apologize. I'm not super well versed in iPad. That's one of the reasons I was trying. We have a new iPad, and Dawn was trying to do it, and she was struggling. So I'm going to get smarter on iPad. Maybe we'll do a specific one on iPad training some point in the future. Okay, because I know that a lot of people do use the iPad.
What did I miss?
You missed several things, but we'll circle back. Okay, Carol Jean.
I couldn't get in.
Yeah. Okay. I'm sorry about that, but we'll get you up to speed. We're gonna our goal is not to leave anybody behind. I think what is it, the Marines? Or
Okay, I'll go get my scotch.
Like so okay, yeah, just get ready. All right, so let me go back and see sort of where we are. So we're talking about chat. So hopefully you can find your chat button, and I'm going to turn on chat. And what I'd like you to do in your chat is just to see that everybody's here. We'll do a little taking attendance. So put your name and your location in the chat. So I'm going to put Eric Olson -SLO in the chat. So Eric Olson -SLO. I'm going to hit return. And I just put that in chat. There we go. Thank you, Carol Jean, for putting that in there. Let's go see if the rest of you guys can go ahead and put something in the chat.
Where is chat?
Are we supposed to be muted?
No, you could leave your mute off.
Oh, the other people are muted.
Well, they are.
You
It's
see.
a personal choice at
Oh.
this point.
He's
I will say that
Want to make
sometimes,
noise.
sometimes it can create an echo if everybody is unmuted, depending on how many people you have in the room. But
Oh, well, I learned that today.
Okay, there you go. Is everybody able to chat? Does anybody need any help chatting? Are
I
we
don't know
good?
where the chat button is. It doesn't show.
Yeah, it doesn't show a chat. Huh. All right, so Helen, we'll have to try to, maybe we'll work on that, maybe after this sort of basic training, okay? So try to get everybody to where they could be. All right, so that was the chat. Let's see, the next thing that we want to do is we want to work on some view options. So one of the things we like to be able to do is do side-by-side mode in viewing. So when Rod is sharing slides in the service, what side-by-side does is, as opposed to having, just Rod and then a little strip of the members or whatnot, it allows you a little bit more control on how you view things. So I'm going to go back into share screen mode to show you. Let's see, I think I can show you how to do that. We'll see here. So let me see, share screen. And I'm sharing my entire desktop. So there's what we see. This is sort of the normal gallery view that we have. I'm going to go ahead and
Gallery view.
Share. I'm gonna do a stop share because I'm going to try a little different approach here to get you to show you. So share. Turns out I cannot do this the way I thought. All right, so I'm gonna, well, let's see. So I'm gonna try to talk you through this one. So you see right now I'm sharing screen and I'm sharing my little Word doc that I have with the yellow highlighted and the green highlighted text. So if you go up into the more button, or you might have a little red button that says something like view options. So if you click on that in the view options, the view option that you want is called side-by-side mode. Right?
Okay.
So did you find that? And maybe, Rod and Chris, since I'm blind to this a little bit, since I'm the host and sharing, I can't really see this side-by-side mode.
On my machine, upper right is a thing called view, and that's where it appears.
So upper right, you click that view, and then there's a pull down, and one of the pull down options is side-by-side mode.
All right.
And that tends to be pretty smart. Now, one of the nice things about side-by-side mode is you can change the size of the slide. So there's a little divider between the pictures on the right and the screen that I'm sharing on the left. And it's a little slide bar that with your mouse, you could slide that back and forth and make that shared screen bigger or smaller. And that way you can get more of the little people on the right, or you can see if there's really small text on some slide that Rod is sharing, some hymn you can't really read, or you have to
Where do you,
squint too much.
where
and
do
make
you,
it bigger.
where do you put the pointer? It didn't work for me. I just put it on the left of your face.
No, there should be like a line, a vertical white line that divides the slide side from the picture side.
A white line. There's a white line
Would-
at the end of your document.
Yeah, that should be, so you should be able to click on that with your, so you're gonna left click and hold down your mouse key. So left click and then drag that left or right.
It doesn't work.
Doesn't-
Oh, okay, let me try it. On my machine, if you take the cursor and you slide it over to the edge of
See,
the document,
could everybody go ahead and
Then you
mute
can
when Chris is talking?
grab it and make it bigger and smaller.
Mine doesn't work.
Okay, all
At
right,
the edge of the document, correct?
Correct. It highlights when your little arrow is right on the edge of the document.
Yeah, it doesn't show up for me.
okay. So I'll tell you what, let's kind of park that one, and that'll be something else we'll come back to, and we'll work with Carol Jean specifically after the training, okay? All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and stop share. So that's just something that, makes it maybe a little bit more pleasant for how you view things like the service or when people are sharing slides, okay? The next thing I want to talk about is switching between speaker view and gallery view. All right, so this should be a little bit easier for everyone. So if you go to the upper right-hand corner of your screen, the far upper right-hand corner, you should have a little thing that says something like view. All right. If
Got it.
you click on that view, you can go to speaker view, or you can go to gallery view. So why don't you click between speaker view and gallery view?
So
Okay.
speaker view shows you and everybody else.
Which camera? Gallery.
Right. Well, and then gallery view should be like the Brady Bunch view, right? That's where everybody has their own individual square.
Oh, you're not going to believe that this is the opposite on mine. I've got gallery view written up there on the right, gallery view. Okay, I'm going to click it. Oh, there you are.
Okay.
Okay, this is the gallery, right?
This is, well, we're not exactly sure what you're seeing,
Well, I'll
Carol Jean,
tell
but
you, all of us
yeah,
are
right.
here.
All,
on one
the
screen.
all view is the gallery view, and then the speaker view is more the individual. Okay.
I come here for the humor.
Okay, good.
Eric, Piggy brought her iPad here. So for Helen and Hugh, on the iPad, there's a little icon to the left of the screen that shows, it looks like you found it. Okay.
Okay. Very good. Thanks, Peggy, for doing that. That's going to come in handy. All right.
And then just following up on that iPad, when you click and the upper right-hand corner, there's 3 dots that say more. That's where you reach the chat.
Okay. Upper right-hand corner, 3 dots that say more. And you should be able to, there should be a pull down, I guess, Rod, for the
Pull
chat.
down,
There's a
and then
little-
you can either choose chat, open
Okay.
it, or close it.
Oh, we are going to be so good at the end of this, I'm telling you.
You know what's confusing to me right now? I have the gallery view. I have everybody here and I'm speaking, so the yellow frame is around me. And in the right-hand corner, it says speaker view. See, it
That's
tells
saying
me
if you
I
want to
speak.
switch your,
Yeah, well, how do
your
you
view.
know that?
That's just a
all
computer
that
thing.
matters is that you're seeing what you want to see.
And you can
Well, when I
toggle
look
back
at-
and forth.
When I look up there, I think I'm seeing speaker view because it says speaker view. I'm sorry, I must think differently than you guys.
Well, it's not necessarily just you. It's sort of, that's what the convention is in the computer industry, right? It shows you the the button that you would be going to if you clicked it, right? So
I
if you
see.
want to go
Okay.
to speaker view, you click that button and you're in speaker view, right?
Okay, I have a question about either of these screens. When there are 100 people,
Mhm.
are you seeing yourself only first on the top? Is everybody seeing themselves on the top?
So, yeah, so generally Zoom will put you into one of the top squares, but let's go ahead and learn how to do this. So one of the new features in Zoom is you can drag squares to wherever you want, okay? So if I want Carol Jean to be in, and I'll go ahead and share my screen to show you what I'm talking about here. All right, so I'm back into this. So I could take Carol Jean, click on her screen, and I can drag her up to the top. Or if I want Rod to be, up on the top, I can do that and move me over. So you can click on somebody's square, hold down the left button on your mouse and drag them to where you want them to be, okay? Now, why you would want to do that, I joke, during the setup thing is, put all your friends in the top row, or, the people that are fun to watch, put them in the top row so you have them. When you have 100 people though, and you have to like page over to see the different screens, you can't drag somebody from the last page to the top page yet, I think you're kind of stuck within whatever page they're existing in. All right.
Okay, when I hit you and I try to, there's a frame around you, Eric, and I'm going to move it to the left. Well, guess what? Everybody moves to the left.
Yeah, well,
Not just you, the whole 7 of you.
well, it will, I'm not exactly sure what Zoom's logic is on how it allows you to move things. You might have to play with it a little bit to get people where you want to be, but
Yeah,
you have the capability to do that.
Move over out of the sunlight.
All right, so let's go ahead and move on. So that was speaker view versus gallery view. The other thing is making sure that people can see you well. So one of the things that Zoom is based on, or a lot of the computer camera systems are based on contrast. So they like to see a lot of light coming on your face, and they want to have it relatively dark in the back. So if you've got, windows behind you, you're backlit, and just like it's bad in photography to be backlit, it's bad in Zoom, okay? So try to get something where like there's a window, behind your computer, so the light's pouring on your face, or, turn off lights that are behind you, right? And that'll make it easier to see.
We have a perfect example of that, my face.
You has an example of too much light on your face, right? So there you go. So yeah, you got to be concerned about what people are seeing. So that's just some good cinematography rules for you there. Okay.
I'm sorry, Eric, this is the only face I have.
Oh well, yeah. Work with what you got. Okay, work with what you got. All right. The other notes here, remember to update your Zoom periodically. Let's see. I'm gonna keep that sort of for the advanced course. When you exit Zoom, a lot of times they'll ask you, do you want to update? I recommend you click that and go ahead and do the update. I know sometimes it's a little bit scary, especially for people using older computers. I suppose, something could go wrong, but Zoom does a lot of things to improve security and improves performance and the user experience. So I think you should, try to go after that. So if Zoom asks you to update, generally it's okay to go ahead and do that. All right. Yeah, and then that's it for the training. So those are sort of the basics. So if you can do those basic things, my argument is you're good to go as far as the service. So basically we learned to mute and unmute. We learned to chat in the chat box. We used to switch between speaker view and gallery view are the big things. And also to be able to rename ourselves as far as our screen goes, right? So the rename, usually our name hyphen our location, or, sometimes we use that renaming capability if we want to do breakout rooms where we put everybody in individual breakout rooms based on what number you put by your name, right? So we've done that before, okay? But that's it. I'm going to say that's a wrap for the beginning UU Zoom training, but I'm going to hang around and help you guys and answer any kind of questions I can. And I encourage Rod and Chris to help me out and keep me out of trouble here too. Okay. So
Can you take yourself off the master view there? And let
oh
the,
yeah, I'm sorry. Thank you for suggesting that. Okay, so yeah, so this is back to the regular view mode here. Is there anything that we have questions or things that we skipped that? Oh, I want to show you the mirroring function. So that's kind of an interesting thing. The way Zoom sets up, I think the default is not to mirror your image. I think mirroring is a good thing because it's relatively natural. I'm going to go to share screen now. And yeah, so I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. And one of the things you could do is go ahead and click on this little video camera in the lower left-hand corner. So if you click on that video camera in the lower left-hand corner, you go to video settings. And so on video, so this is what I see on my video settings, right? So you got this. So generally, it'll tell you or allow you if you've got multiple cameras. So I have the built-in camera on my computer, but I use another little separate webcam sort of thing, which is my Logitech webcam. And that's the one that I have selected, and that tells you what camera you're using if you have multiple cameras. So generally we do high definition. If you've got an older computer, maybe you don't want to use high definition, but generally high definition gives you a better viewing experience. And then this is the one I was talking about, the mirror my video, right? So if I click this off, it's kind of weird. I'm pointing to my right, but my finger's going left.
Yeah.
So if you get to that screen and you want to go ahead and do that, so if it's either on mirror your video or it's not. So either check or uncheck that box, and then just do this little thing where you're sort of pointing, try to point on your screen where you're going, right? Does everybody have that?
I'm lost.
Okay. So Carol Jean, did you find the video settings? So if
No.
you go to
I've got a button. Sorry, go ahead.
yeah, the lower left-hand corner. So I've got my mouse where I'm sort of circling it on the lower left-hand corner.
Yes, it says stop video.
Yeah. So I click the little arrow
Oh,
next to it to the right-hand
Oh.
side.
yeah.
And then it gives you a little drop down or pull up menu. And then video settings is what you want to click on.
Oh,
And that's
I
how I
see.
got
Okay.
this little window.
Okay. Okay, I
And-
got it.
And then in that little window, what we're saying is this little button here,
Mirror my
mirror
video.
or no mirror.
Yeah.
So there's the mirror and there's the no mirror. So I think what you got to remember when you're doing that mirror your video, that mirror your video is for you only. Other people it doesn't change it for other people. So what you see for me as the speaker, I just like to have it on mirror my video because it so as it mimics like when I'm shaving, right? If I'm shaving this side of my face or that side, so I don't nick and cut myself. I like to mirror my video so it acts just like a mirror, right? And that seems to be the most natural thing for most people. So I suggest you check that box, and it'll make it easier for you to deal with Zoom land, I think, a little bit. Any questions on that?
What is touch up my appearance? Does that make me look like
Yeah,
Lola?
that's
It didn't help me a bit.
it is movie star stuff. It is movie star stuff. Yeah, if you that there's really, you could go ahead and touch up your appearance. Dawn was playing with this earlier today because Rod and I were sort of talking about it before the service the other day. Without the touch up materials, it makes the image a little bit sharper, right? So if you touch up your appearance, you kind of get that movie star, take away some wrinkles. You can't see quite as well. So if you've got, that level of concern, go ahead and touch up your appearance, play with sliding the bar. If you can't tell any difference, yeah, I think it's optional. It's not gonna.
What bar?
So the if you do touch up your appearance, so if I click on that box, you'll see a
Yeah.
little bar and a slider appears to the right
No,
of touch up my appearance.
no. No bar.
So do you have the settings window up here?
Yes,
And do you have the touch up my appearance? Do you have that button?
yes, and I have it on.
Okay. And you don't have a bar.
Well, where would the bar be? Under my face?
Can you see my screen that I'm sharing? Carol?
Wait, I have to move this.
So I'm moving my screen around here. I'm moving it over to the other side. Can you see that screen? Do you see me in the little white in the white screen?
Oh, yeah, but
Okay.
guess what? I don't have one of those.
Okay. Well, that might be a Zoom update issue, and we can talk about Zoom updates, at some point too. So.
It is, so doesn't affect
Okay.
us.
All right. Other questions? Let me do stop sharing here. So we're kind of back to normal view here. Other questions, or what other things can we help you with? I appreciate you guys asking questions because I learned things and we all sort of.
Again,
struggle with this.
how would I know who the 100th member is if they're down off the screen? And do I care anyway?
Well, let's see. So there's a few ways you could do this. Because we only have what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Since we only have 7 people, everybody pretty much fits on the screen. Let me see if I can change that.
On gallery view.
Yeah, on gallery view, everybody fits on the screen. If you have more people, usually there's a little arrow to the left or the right that you can click on. And you can arrow through all the different screens, and you can eventually get to the one with the 100th person on there.
You mean this little arrow on the bottom of over here on the right side where all the people are? Where all the screens are on the bottom, there's a little arrow.
I'm not sure what you're referring to, Carol Jean, actually.
Well,
but the thing I was going to say, an alternate way to go about that, and I'm going to go ahead and share my screen again. So an alternate way of seeing like who's in the meeting and who's participating is if you go and click on this participant. So there's a little button here on the bottom that says participants. It has the two little people icon. And
yes.
it has the number 8. So
Yes.
that means we have 8, little squares or 8 connections going on. And I'm gonna click on that. And if I click on that, you'll notice over here on the left, it opened up like a list of all the people that are on here. I'm gonna go ahead and close my door here.
Only
On
the
the
names.
On the
There are
iPad, it's in the upper right, Helen and Hugh, if you found it.
Okay.
So it's up on the right on the iPad screen.
Well, I've got the list, but there are only 4 of us listed, even though there are 8 of us here. It says participants 8.
So you're only seeing like half of this list then?
Right, so how do I,
You have a bar to.
there's a
scroll.
bar, yes, I will drag the bar. Yes, it shows me the other people too.
Okay. Yeah,
So,
I think in that chat, so in that window, if you have your chat open, so I'm gonna click on my chat. And let's see, I think,
C and P be chatting.
yeah, I'm not exactly sure what the setting is, but I think the bottom of this window, sometimes it has the chat is in there. There's some sort of setting that I click so that my chat floats around. And I can put it wherever I want, but if you have the chat over here, you have to drag that little bar, Carol Jean, I think, down.
Yeah,
So you
okay.
can see more of the participants, yeah. Okay,
So, and I noticed it said, if you're looking for somebody, you put their name in. Did you
Look-
notice that?
Oh, the search thing up here?
Okay, when you click participants and the list comes up, on the top it says find a participant. So if you want to find Peggy, put Peggy in there, Peggy whoever, and if they're on, it'll come up.
Oh, yeah.
That's
Okay.
right. Yep.
Okay, I'm gonna look for Carol. Oh, see, so both of our Carols come up.
Yeah, nice. Well,
Yeah.
I learned something new. There you
All
go.
right.
I didn't know you could do that.
You know, I'm not as dumb as I look.
So now when I have, 130 students in my class, I can find, all the bills, right? I'll put all the bills up there and.
Right.
Yeah.
So now with this view, I can't unmute, can I? Carol is muted. I can't unmute anybody.
No, you can't unmute anybody, but here's what I'll do is, okay, so I'm gonna allow everybody to mute and unmute each other. So I'm gonna make you guys, let me see here. Let me get everybody back so I can see everybody. So we're gonna go ahead and make you co-hosts, okay? So I just made you a co-host, Carol Jean, and I'm gonna make Helen a co-host. All right, so one of the things we do before the service, we ask people if they want to be co-hosts. So when you're co-hosts, one of the superpowers you get is you get the capability to mute and unmute people. Okay.
Got it.
So I just made, and I got this, I have to do this individually.
So everybody is unmuted.
No, so now as co-hosts, you can try this, Carol Jean. You could go ahead and mute me. So go ahead and go over the little microphone next to mine so you see where I'm speaking.
So now you're muted, right?
Yes. Yes, he is.
You're muted now.
Yes, he
So-
is. He can't talk. He's muted.
Okay, so I'll unmute you.
And I think you can only ask to unmute.
Yep. And so now it asked me if I wanted to be unmuted. I said, yeah, I want to talk. So there you
Okay.
go. All right. So when you see, the people that are helping out as co-hosts, that's one of the things we ask them to do is people that, have forgotten to mute themselves or, are having a side conversation we shouldn't be hearing. We we can go in and mute each other like that, okay?
Well, can we, you're saying a side conversation. Can you actually have can I have a side conversation with Carol here and you won't hear me?
No, that's one of the challenges of the Zoom meeting is whoever talks, the speaker will only pick up one microphone. And so it's battling microphones. And if one person's talking, you can't get in, or you have to just keep talking until the little yellow square moves to you. But if where this comes up is like the service has already started, somebody accidentally unmutes, and now we're not hearing Rod or the choir or whatever.
So one of the things that I can do, and this is a little bit tricky. So I've got the host. So one way to get that effect that we do is, and I'm going to try this. I think it's a relatively new Zoom feature. So I'm going to open up a breakout room. All right. And you guys got a little message. And if you wanted to go into the breakout room, so if you wanted to say, talk to, let's have you talk to Chris, Carol Jean. So Carol Jean, if you go ahead and go into that breakout room, and I'm going to ask Chris and Peggy to go in the same breakout room. So you guys want to have a side conversation, go in that breakout room. So Carol Jean, can you pick that?
Well, I see breakout rooms in progress.
Yeah, so go ahead and go into that room. Can you select that?
Oh, room 1.
Yep, there you go.
Wait a minute. Well, I'm clicking everything on that line, but nothing works.
Okay.
It says room 1, Peggy and Chris.
Yeah, so can you
Okay.
can you go ahead and click that, or if it's not working for
I
you?
click my name and assign to and Peggy, and nothing moves.
Okay. Well, let's see. Yeah. So
Next,
Peggy, how did you get in room 1?
yeah, Chris, what did that? Oh, you're muted, Chris.
Chris, how did you get in room 1?
He's muted.
Still muted.
Isn't this fun?
I got a little message on my computer said, you're invited to a breakout room.
Oh,
And then you get a click says, do you want to go? And I clicked yes.
oh, well, I
And
didn't
so I
get
went
that.
there and I was the only one there for a while.
Okay, I didn't get there. I didn't get that message.
Yeah, so one of the things that we're trying to do at the UU is, we're trying to get everybody up to sort of a basic level of competence. What we just did there was maybe a little bit more advanced. So your host has to know how to do that kind of thing in order to, execute on that. But there are usually, workarounds to make things happen. You just need to.
Well, why don't you go back and do that so I can get in room 1?
Well, let's see. So one of the features I was trying to use was, let me click recreate. So
Recreate 1 breakout room.
all right, so I did, all right. So now that everybody should have an invitation to go into the breakout room, right?
Wait a minute.
Is there an invitation? Nobody?
Well,
No.
I'm still seeing your computer, Eric.
Oh, okay. Let me go ahead and stop share. Maybe that's part of the confusion.
Yeah, now we see you.
All right. So I'm gonna. Okay, now I hit open all room. So I created one breakout room. So everybody should have an invitation to one breakout room.
Where?
Let's see. Did you guys get an invitation or no?
No,
I have you on there. Now I have Carol. Hi, Carol.
All right. So I'm gonna close. I'm gonna just do this a couple times. So let me close room and then open room. So did you see a tab or something flash up? Nothing?
Nada.
Yeah.
a window
this
came
time.
up for me that says breakout rooms in progress, and it
Yeah.
shows everybody unassigned, and then it has room 1, and it has a link for me to join.
Right. So that's, so what you know, let's kind of leave this for another day. I think this is like not ready for prime time type thing. But, you know, the ability to have a big meeting and then have, you know, some breakout rooms that people can go into if they want to have a sidebar conversation, Carol Jean, like you're talking about. You can do that. You can set that up. It's kind of like, okay, let's go into the other room and talk. And as long as you maybe private chatted to Carol that that's what you wanted to do, and you guys both agreed, you just both click a button and you go in and you come out, and it would sort of work that way.
But you have to activate it.
I have to activate it, yeah.
Got it.
You can't do it on your own. Okay. You have to ask the host. Okay, so we're almost up at the Zoom fatigue limit. So we've been doing about an hour of this. I'm gonna, like I said, I'm gonna try to take that first section and chop that down into maybe a little reasonable training thing that we can put on YouTube and put on the UU website. So if you want to view some of the stuff again, you can go ahead and do that and figure it out. You can always also contact me if you want to do a private session where we talk about how to connect or not connect. But I appreciate you guys coming and, you know, doing this training. I think the more people that know how to do this and whatnot, I think, you know, the better we'll communicate and the better we'll connect as a congregation. So thank you for doing this.
Thank you.
Thank you, Eric.
All right, good deal. All right, take care. Everybody. This is also, now I'm training. This is the Zoom wave, right? You know, and this is the Zoom wave with the left hand. This is a Zoom wave with the right hand. All right, so we got all that down. We'll see you guys later. Have a good, we'll see you probably Sunday, okay?
See you Sunday.
All right, take care. Bye-bye.